Metro Exodus has been a curious experience for me. I can tell it's a very well-made game. It looks gorgeous, the story is really interesting, everything about it works, it's not broken, it's not unplayable, everything is designed as intended, nothing's gone wrong. And I really, really liked the original Metro, I thought it was great. I liked Last Light as well. But with this, I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. I've not enjoyed it at all, in fact. I played it for several hours before taking a step back and realising, hey, I've not had a single moment of fun here. And the rest of my time has been spent working out why that is. I think part of it, a big part of it in fact, has to do with the environment. Now, there are interior, undergroundy tunnels, dungeon-type areas, I'll just call them now for the sake of brevity, and in those moments, Metro Exodus feels a lot more like the original Metro. But all throughout the game, its overall map design doesn't feel as tight and claustrophobic as the original Metro. Which would be fine if the gameplay, if the way the character controls, moves and shoots had been sped up a bit. Instead, I felt the whole game, or at least my whole time playing the game, I felt like I was moving too slow, like I was aiming too slow. Even when I whacked the sensitivity up, everything still felt sluggish and nowhere near as responsive as I wanted it to. And it's functionally not all that different from the original Metro, except in that game, with very tight corridors and a very distinct pacing, it worked. It was part of to be methodical, to be careful, to put your best foot forward. Whereas this, even though a lot of that's still true, it takes way longer to get to places. You see enemies from further away, therefore the firefights often end up more distanced. You can still stealth, of course, but that just makes things even slower with these larger maps, these larger environments. I just didn't get on with it at all. I found myself bored in between moments of combat, moments of exploration, just trying to book it from a safe place to safe place with this distance in between of not very much. It's all very pretty to look at in that sort of beautifully, tragically desolate way, but I just ended up mostly bored. And that is a real shame, because I don't enjoy not liking a Metro game. That feels weird to me, that feels wrong, but there we go. Also, as gorgeous as it looks, Metro Exodus is visually, and from an audio perspective as well, incredibly cluttered. There's so much detail in absolutely everything. So much immaculately detailed rust and dirt and grime and brickwork and shit on the floor that everything blends into each other, including the enemies. And it's not just in terms of what I can see, it affects the gameplay as well, because every 2 feet you're getting caught on some twig or some bit of metal, just something you didn't see, that pins you in place. Trying to navigate a particularly littered area is an exercise in being really annoyed, actually. Same goes for the audio, where I think they've tried to be realistic by having characters speak over each other, but the end result is that characters speak over each other. They are just nattering, and you can't work out which bit's important and which bits are not. This is also true of background sounds. Lavishly, luxuriously implemented background sounds. So much going on, to the detriment of the important stuff that you're actually meant to be paying attention to. It reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2, where Rockstar went overboard with the details, with the extraneous additions and animations as well. This is another game, Metro Exodus, another game where everything has to be painstakingly animated, even if it makes the game take longer, even if it's the same animations over and over again, even if you'd rather spend more time playing the game than looking at things being done. And as I said of Red Dead Redemption 2, there is attention to detail, and there is obsession with detail, and Metro Exodus has trended towards the obsessive side. And I want to make it clear, I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy saying that I had no fun with Metro Exodus, or forgot a knife there, that I had no fun with Metro Exodus whatsoever. I enjoy even less having to tell you, duty-bound to tell you, that once I was sick of Metro Exodus, I put on Far Cry New Dawn and had way more fun with it. Mostly because I had some fun with it. And do you know how much I loathe doing that? How much I despise saying I put on a Far Cry game and had way more fun with it than a Metro game? That's not right. That's not good. That's not something any human being should be in a position to do. And I know that I'm going to be in the minority of humans who have found themselves obligated to do this. Because it is an obligation. And it is very important that I say it and get myself harangued for it and make myself a societal pariah for saying it. And I want you to appreciate the sacrifice I've made in doing that. But it is true. Far Cry New Dawn had, or was it New Day? I forget. That's a tag team. No, it is New Dawn. Yeah. Which also has open environments. I mean, a full-bore open world. But the moment I put it in, I was moving faster, I was aiming faster. Traversing the world was a lot more fluid and interesting, and I certainly wasn't getting stuck on shit all the time. And it's not that I think every game should be fast-paced, twitchy, shooty, slidey, but even with some of the tighter spaces in Metro Exodus, I still wasn't having as much fun as I was with the original Metro. I just think the environments were better designed, more intuitively designed. And it didn't help that I thought the exterior sections in the original Metro were the weakest parts. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, that sense of running out into that dangerous environment with a gas mask on, and there were some tense moments, but for the most of it, there was a lot more of that visual clutter. I don't like fighting the mutants at the best of times. I find them very annoying to fight. I find a lot of the mutated animals in the Metro series just a big pain in the arse. When you're trying to get from one location to another, be it on foot or by boat, being constantly harassed by little monsters, shitty little monsters all of the time. It's not enjoyable for me. Not in a conventional way, not in a, the world is oppressive and scary and dark and challenging way either. It's just a fucking annoyance. The writing, when you can hear dialogue over the sound of dialogue, is very enjoyable indeed. I love the characters. I especially love Anna, Artyom's wife in this. The relationship between them two is something that's really felt throughout this game. In subtle ways as well as explicit ones. Just the way they visually interact with each other. Anna's animations, you can just pick up a real sense of affection there, which is difficult to do when you're dealing with non-human representations of characters on the screen, animated characters, especially in a video game. You know, this isn't a Pixar effort, and yet you can tell with Anna exactly how she's feeling, and that's great. And it's moments like that. It's stuff like this game's writing that really make it a shame for me that I didn't enjoy it in any way, because I really, really, really wanted to love it. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to playing Metro Exodus and considering Far Cry New Dawn an obligation, something I was doing for work. But if I were to choose which one I'd rather play, and I have chosen which one I'd rather play, because there's one I decided I don't want to play anymore, and one I decided I want to continue playing. So I have made that choice, and it was a Far Cry game. I know that's wrong, And I do want to make it clear that apparently I'm in a massive minority on this one, because other reviewers are calling this the best Metro game yet. And I think part of that was a lot of people did like those outdoor sections. And of course there is this push to make everything, if not open world, at least opened up, which people seem to enjoy. But certainly these large map areas that you go to did nothing for me. And annoyed the piss out of me so much that I don't want to play it anymore. And I don't like saying that. I think if there's one thing I want to communicate in this video more than anything else, it's that I don't like what's happened here. I don't like it any more than you probably do. I'm sure some of you are annoyed that I said I didn't like a video game, but that's where we are, innit?